up, y'all? My name is Anna. Welcome to my channel, and today I am doing my August update for my monthly beauty tracker. And my gosh, how is it already the end of August? This year has been simultaneously the longest year ever and the fastest year ever, and I just want it to end. Please. You probably didn't come here to hear me say something that I think everyone can agree with, is that 2020 is just a year that we should skip. So let's just move on. If you don't already know, this is a series where I track my purchases, what I use up, what I declutter, what is gifted to me throughout each month, and my goal is to use up in monetary value more than what I buy each month. Starting with empties, I'll do makeup first because I feel like most people like makeup the most if you're watching my videos. Now, if you have been following my Back to Broadway Project Pan series, then you probably already know that I recently finished this Catrice lip boosting lip gloss, lip plumper. To be completely honest, I can't remember the specific name. I remember checking for the price. It said $5, but also it's still on Catrice's website, but there's only 2 shades. And this is the shade Nuts About Mary. This is almost completely empty with the exception of the small amount of product that is just, I can't reach super well and isn't enough to actually apply. And I am just really proud of myself for finishing another lip gloss. I enjoyed this, but I wouldn't repurchase it. I've mentioned this many times, but I don't like the mentholy scent and feeling that it brings. If you are someone who likes that, then you probably would like this lip gloss. It wasn't the most pigmented lip gloss, but it definitely wasn't clear. It was kind of just in the middle. So if you have really pigmented lips, I don't know how well it would show up on you. I found that when I first applied it, it had a sheer amount of coverage, but in plumping my lips, it made my lips brighter underneath, and so the color looked a bit brighter, but then once that kind of faded, it was not as noticeable. While this wasn't a sticky lip gloss, I did find that the residue, once the color faded, was a bit sticky, and after reapplying several times throughout the day, I noticed a bit of sticky residue, and sometimes there'd even be like a ring of sticky residue if I wore it a lot that day, so didn't love that. I do think this is good. I think it's similar in the consistency and experience as the Buxom lip glosses, so if you like those, then these are $5. Maybe check it out if you want, but I don't love the plumping mentholness of the Buxom lip glosses, but I do think they are better formula than this. But it's not a bad gloss. It's good. I just have other formulas that I prefer. Now, my only other makeup empty is this CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and mine is in the shade L150 or Porcelain. I found this was a decent shade for me. I don't think it was too pink or too yellow or anything like that. Definitely leaned more towards pink, which I think works better for my skin tone, but sometimes I honestly struggle with figuring out my undertone. I know I'm not warm, but sometimes I'm not sure if I'm actually cool or if I'm neutral. But anyways, I thought this was a good concealer. It had good coverage. It had a lot of product, 10 mils of product. Typically concealers have more, around 5 or 6, but yeah, 10 is a third of a foundation. It definitely contained a significant amount of product, and as you can see, I took out the stopper and scraped out all that I could. One thing I will add is this is the second time I bought one of these, so I clearly liked it enough to try it again, but the stopper in this is the most insane stopper I have ever dealt with. I have taken many stoppers out in my day between lip glosses and concealers and the like, but none have ever been so incredibly difficult to remove. And I knew that going in because I've done it before, but I knew it was possible. As you can see, it's a fairly thick, wide in diameter bottle, and the doe foot itself is quite large and the entire wand is quite large. So you can imagine that the stopper itself was very big. It also was really long. It went deeper than this. It went somewhere in here. So it was a massive chonker of a stopper, and it took a lot of determination to get it out. So if you are new to the whole removing stoppers thing, I would suggest practicing on other tubes. Some are really easy to take out, some are moderately okay, and this one is definitely like boss level. This might break your tweezers if they aren't strong enough. So just warning you, I did get more product out that way, but I would say if you don't want to spend 10 minutes on a stopper, just use as much as you can and go on with your life. The reason I do not love this concealer is because it is more mattifying and drying. It is not the most drying concealer I've ever used, for sure. It has good coverage, and so it was nice. However, I do have drier skin, and some days it looked fine, but on days my skin were drier, it just looked a bit thicker and creasier and just kind of heavy and gross on the skin. So if you have oilier skin or normal skin, I would definitely say this would probably work for you, but if you have extremely dry skin, I would not recommend this. It's definitely not the most drying concealer, and it's decent. I would consider buying this again if I'm really in need of a concealer and this is something I can easily find at the drugstore. So yeah, I think it's a decent price considering how much you get in the product. I think it's a decent product. I just don't think it's the best for my skin type. I forgot to mention that I bought this for $8.99. Now moving on to skincare and body care. This first product is the Trader Joe's Enrich Moisturizing Face Lotion with SPF 15. I have gone through several of these and I do find it's very nice. It's gentle on my sensitive skin. It provides a nice amount of moisture for the day. However, I have chosen not to continue purchasing this just because it has a chemical sunscreen, and I'm trying to use more mineral sunscreens to not only help reefs in the environment, but also because zinc oxide is better for your skin than some of the ingredients in chemical sunscreens. So yeah, I'm trying to move towards that, and I can just use a moisturizer without SPF and just layer it with my SPF. So I do think this is nice, but I'm not desperately in need of something like this that I can't drop it from my skincare routine. And this is only $3.99 if you buy it at the Trader Joe's store, so it's definitely good price for 4 fluid ounces. Now this next product was a birthday gift from last year from a friend. It is the Cetox Sea Mineral Body Wash. I've never heard of this brand, but it says it's mermaid approved, so I'm convinced. The sticker on the bottom says it priced for $13.50, so that's what I listed it as. It was a nice body wash. There was nothing that I found specifically special about it. It had a fun scent. I'm not super into scents in general, so yeah, I have a ton of just backup body washes that I've been trying to go through for years, and so it's nice to have this one done. And now I no longer have several like half-used body washes because I live at one house now, so I can just go through one at a time, so that is nice. Now this next one is looking interesting right now. It is the Shea Moisture African Black Soap Soothing Body Lotion, and I got this for $3.99 on sale. And the reason you see it in the current state that it is because it pumped fine up until around here-ish. It would stop pumping the product, and I'm not sure why. I kept on trying to put the pump in a different spot so that it would find a new place to go, but it didn't work, and there was enough product in there for me to not want to waste it. So I tried the upside down method, but it was such thick lotion that it wouldn't settle. So yeah, I ended up cutting it open and using the last product. It actually had several uses left, so I would say it's worth it. I have one more of these. I think it's a nice lotion. It adds nice moisture. I'm honestly not sure what I want to purchase in regards to lotions. I would love to be able to make my own lotion at home if it's cheaper, but honestly with college just starting, I just realized I don't have time or the energy to do that. I barely have time to make these videos now, so yeah, it's not really high on the priority list. I'm probably just gonna buy a lotion that works. I would love to start using solid lotions just because I feel like they use up less plastic, so it'd be better for the environment. But again, I I don't know of a ton that are inexpensive. So next we have a often recurring hair product, and it is the Hask Chia Seed Volumizing Dry Shampoo, and this one is the 6.5 ounces one, and it cost around $7.99. This is the dry shampoo I use. It works for me. I like it. I go through these fairly often, considering my hair gets gross real fast. I wash my hair every other day, and on the off days, it's not pretty. I just wish my hair would stop looking like I'm cosplaying as a greaser. Pony boy, I'm coming for you. Y'all don't know what greasy hair looks like until you meet me. Luckily, I just took a shower, so it looks nice today. Now the last two products are oral care items, so they're probably less interesting to most people, but this first one is the Tom's Fluoride Whole Care toothpaste. It costs $5 with 4 ounces. Yeah, it was nice. This last one is the Glide Oral-B Floss. I know this brand isn't cruelty-free, but I need floss, so I do what I gotta do. This is priced at $2.99, and I really don't have much more to say because it's floss. Now moving on to what I bought this month. I only bought one item, but it's something that I find very exciting, and it is this BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast Palette. If you have seen my recent wish list video, then you will be familiar with this palette. I honestly bought it soon after that wish list because I was like, screw it. So it's originally priced for $18. I believe it was on sale when I bought it, but I also used a discount code from an influencer that I didn't even know, but you know, it was a discount code, so that works. And also a code for students, so I was able to get it for $14.40. I don't want to blind you, so I will hold it upside down, but I love this color story because I love the contrast between red and green, and that's basically what this palette is doing. It's just red in different undertones and depths, and green in different undertones and depths, and having those work with each other. I especially wanted this for the matte green shades because I only have one matte green, and also just green is my favorite color. I've said this a million times, but I love green. It reminds me of trees and it makes me happy, so this is right up my alley. And it has some shades that I don't have, like lemon pepper, and I don't have a pink this warm and bright. I have not used this a ton. I've swatched a few of the shades and I used one or two once or twice, but yeah, I haven't really used it a ton because school started and all of a sudden I got too busy to care about makeup. So yeah, hopefully I can get some use out of this soon, but I guess recently I haven't been wearing makeup a ton, and when I have, I've been focusing on Project Pan items. I would really like to get some more use out of this to see what my thoughts are on it, but yeah, I'm pretty happy about this purchase. Now moving on to the last section before we get to the totals, and that is what I've decluttered this month. And I've actually decluttered a significant amount of products, which was kind of surprising. The first thing I decluttered was something that has been on the chopping block ever since I received it, and it is the Physicians Formula Happy Booster Blush. I don't know what shade it is in because they don't make these blushes anymore, and this was in a like set with other things. My mom decluttered this to me because she never used it, and I really never used it either. I put it on my chopping block series and I decided to keep it because I did like how it looked. It was fine, but I found once it was out of that project, I never reached for it. And it kept on getting hard pan on certain shades, and the problem is some of the heart sections are a very soft formula, and some of them are so firm that they don't pick up anything, and so it's very uneven. And another problem is I just don't reach for this bright color. While it's sheared out, it's a very pretty kind of bright purple tone pink. Just don't love that. I'm not super into that, and considering this is quite old and it's just not a good product, I'm like, why waste time? I don't want to clutter my life with things that I just feel guilty about not using, and so I'm just saying goodbye. Now these next two products were also items that my mom decluttered to me, and It is this Revlon Bold Lacquer Luscious Mascara. She bought 3 because they were on sale, but then she tried one and realized it flakes a ton, and so I was like, okay, I'll try one, and yeah, it was really flaky. It is very big but more traditional wand. The problem is not only that it flakes badly, but it doesn't actually do a whole lot. It looks very natural, so if you like that, still don't get it because flakes like that's its job, which shouldn't be the case. And I used this for a while as a eyelash primer because it would flake less underneath, but I found that it would still, my lashes were starting to flake more as time went on, and I was like, this is just an extra step. And there were 2 of them, and even if I use up the product, what is that going to do? Like, what is going to change? Nothing's going to change. So I'm just getting rid of these because why bother trying to go through them when they're crap in the first place. Now lastly, I have 3 makeup brushes, which I recently realized that I just felt like I had too many makeup brushes. The container I have just felt a bit crowded, and there were some brushes that I just haven't used in months and months and months. I did declutter some brushes earlier this year, and I've come to the conclusion that I just don't need these. This first one is from a Beauty 360 set, and I think that's Walmart or CVS's home brand. One of the first brushes I ever bought. It originally had a different pattern on the handle, but I decorated it with tape because of reasons I don't feel like getting into. It is good quality. It has never shed, never gotten rough. It is held up very well over the years. It is very soft. It's just the shape and the density is not something I use. It is a circle with, it's not super dense, so I find it's not dense enough to use for cream or liquid products, but it's also too dense for me to want to use with other powder products. I like to have very sheer applications of powder. I don't need a ton of face powder. And when I apply blush, I have other brushes I prefer, and same with bronzer. I don't want a super focused, harsh application. So this is just not something I would use, and I don't think I have anyone to give it to, but I decided I'll just bring this into my paintbrush collection and store it there because this could actually be nice for that. This next brush is from that same set, and it is a similar problem. Nothing is wrong with the quality, however, the shape and the density is just not something I reach for over brushes that are similar but slightly different. And this one just hasn't been getting any use, so I figure why bother keeping it with my makeup brushes when it's just adding glitter. I'll probably just store this as a paintbrush as well. Now this last brush is something that I have decluttered in the past, and then I decided not to declutter it, and here we are again. So it is the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. I don't know whose crease this is for, but this is massive and super dense. Again, a theme. I don't like super dense brushes for the most part. Most of mine are fluffier, with the exception of some products for cream. And this is just not something that will work for my eye shape and the application method I prefer. Last time I kept this because I was able to use it when I was sick to apply lip gloss without being unsanitary. But then I realized in the future, if I ever am sick, I'll just not wear lip gloss. Like, it's not that hard. There are other things. I can just wear a lip balm and be fine, or apply a lipstick and wipe off the top. I don't need to wear lip gloss, and I don't need this brush. So again, it'll be going with my paintbrushes. So I guess technically I'm not decluttering them from my life, but I'm decluttering them from my makeup life, so yeah. As for my totals this month, I've used up 6 products, which added up to $46.45, and I bought 1 product which cost $14.40, and none of this is counting tax or shipping because that's just, I don't feel like getting into that part. So my monthly money mark, meaning the difference between the two numbers, is negative $32.05, which I'm very happy about. My goal is to make it negative. While I did not do well last month, I think I'm on track to be having an overall deficit of products that I have bought compared to what I have used up. So very happy about that. This really wasn't a super eventful month. It honestly wasn't a month that has been super makeup focused for me. Again, school's kind of taken over my life, and even though I've only really had it for a week. So yeah, we will see. I feel a bit bad for posting so much in a row and then suddenly stopping because I realized, oh, I have a lot of stuff to do now. I don't have time to film, and I wanted to do it more consistently, but then I realized that's just not practical for my life right now. So I'll probably be only posting once a week around the weekends. Yeah, that's all I can really manage. I also just started another channel which is focused on musicals, where I just talk about different musical tropes or different musicals that I like or dislike or anything like that. That one I'll probably be posting twice a month, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out. If you aren't, that's fine. With all that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!